Yo, what it is, what it up, folk, what it up, what it up. Like, yeah, I said what it up. Man, this be your boy Mambo with the Big Dog Command Room. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the house, welcome to the crib. We're here with the week 2 pregame thoughts, insights, intuitions, whatever you want to call it. I'm just let's just start off, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, man. Get your knee pads ready, get your ankle braces and your ankle weights ready. Cause Dan Campbell is opening the door for the fight. He ready. You know what I'm saying? So they ready to bite some kneecaps, some elbows. They have to put some elbow pads on, all extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? Cause they obviously haven't ate a meal in quite a while, and they hungry. You know what I'm saying? They trying to nibble at whatever. You know what I'm saying? Pause. I like Dan Campbell though, man. I like his mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna go down without a fight. So it's just like, man, just get them knee pads, get their ankle weights and all that stuff ready for this fight, man. And this is an interesting week, because it's like it's another one of those trap games where it's like, like I felt last week, like I said last week, with the Jaguars. It's like, I don't see any reason why we should lose to the Jaguars. In the same sense, I don't see any reason why we should lose to the Lions. But this is a little different though. I feel like this is a trap week because of the leadership that they have. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think the Jaguars have. I don't think the Lions have had a coach like Dan Campbell in quite some time, where it's like he's kind of a disciplinarian, kind of hard-nosed, like we're going to fight to the end type coach, and that's what I like about him, you know what I'm saying? And I'm watching some analysis, like, with Swagoo, Marcus Spears. He was talking about the Lions, like, they're not going to lie down, even in the fourth quarter, they're not going to lie down, they're not going to look desperate. Defeated, they're not going to look conceited, they're not going to look any type of way of dejection. They're gonna keep fighting to the end, and that's where where we have to be diligent and focused in our approach to this game. You know what I'm saying? We can't be so high off a victory last week, against the Jaguars, that we think that this is going to be a walk in the park as well, which it would not be. You know what I'm saying? I honestly haven't really watched the Lions in the past year. Of course, I was looking at some stuff this week, preparing for this video. But I tried to watch them last year, the one game when they played against the Steelers, and that was probably some of the worst football like I had ever seen. It was so bad, I just couldn't watch it, and it was like neither team wanted to try to win, and the Lions is just so bad, like back then, like, you know what I'm saying, like that last year. It was just ugly, but I feel like they're a different team, more confident team, you know what I'm saying? I still concerned, not concerned, but I'm just still like, I don't know about Jared Goff. I thought he was like a really good quarterback, and now I just don't know what he is. It's like, he's kind of good, but then it's like, he'll just kind of do a lot of dumb stuff, so I don't know, man. But as usual, I'm going to start with the defense. Jamin Davis. My boy Jamin Davis. I'm going to start off with him. He's gotten a lot of flack in the media, because of the comments that Jack Del Rio said, which were very honest. Sometimes you got to be real and just be like, he didn't play good. And I said, I didn't see all of the game, because it was like in between streams, and like looking back, it's like he those mistakes, if those were made, if those touchdowns were made, the Travis Etienne one, and even the one where he kind of got picked by his own player, if that would have succeeded, that might have been a touchdown as well. So it's like, you can't take those away and act like they didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? So he definitely has to play better, and he definitely has a challenge on his hands with DeAndre Swift, man. the whole defense has a challenge on their hand with DeAndre Swift. He's a dog, and he's definitely playing. He's not about to not play. He's been good, and I'm glad. I'm like, as just a unbiased fan, I'm glad that he's been able to recover from his injuries from last year. So that's definitely going to be a challenge for him. I'm not sure how they're going to be having him cover receivers, but he's definitely going to have to guard, DeAndre Swift coming out the backfield. And let's just be real, be honest, Cole Holcomb is a really good linebacker, you know what I'm saying? He's not an elite linebacker, but, honestly, Jamie Davis is our best linebacker. It sounds crazy, but that's realistically, what it is, you know what I'm saying? Because we got him, Cole Holcomb, John Bostic, and David Mayo. So you can't say he's better than John Bostic and David Mayo. That's already eliminates half of them. And do you think he's better than Cole Holcomb? Probably cerebrally, or game experience or knowledge, he's not better. But as far as attributes and skills and stuff like that, Jamie Davis is our best linebacker. So I kind of skipped over the D line and just went right to the middle. But the linebackers are going to have a lot of challenge in their hand because they have a lot of mid-range people that can kind of get to it, like in Equanimeous, St. Brown, and they have DJ Chark who could go underneath and go over top. So that's going to be interesting. And they have a really good tight end in CJ Hawkinson, or is it CJ Hawkinson? So hopefully I hope. I'm not trying to skip around, but I'm going to get to that, you know what I'm saying? Let me go back to the D-line. So, looking at a few tweets, just looking around, just trying to do a little bit of research, from what I've seen, Frank Ragnow is going to be out. That's their center, and, from what I've, just looking at a little bit of their game, the Eagles game, and they have a pretty solid offensive line, you know what I'm saying, for DeAndre Swift to get 144 yards against the Eagles, you know what I'm saying. Even though it's the first game, we don't know how good the Eagles D line is going to be. Getting 144 yards on any team is not an easy thing in the NFL. So, they have a pretty good offensive line. I was looking at Jonah Jackson. He had got on one run to the outside, to the left, and he was moving, boy. I love to see some guards, getting out there, big linemen, getting out there in space and making some moves. But he's also questionable, with a finger injury. But more than likely, he probably just gonna wrap that joint up and play. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see him not playing. But Frank Ragnow more than likely is gonna be out. So that's gonna be an opportunity for big boys up front. The Bama Wall, Duran, and Jonathan Allen to turn up, man. You know what I'm saying? Do what they continue with that momentum from last week. Just be hungry, boys. Come on, man. I want Duran to get paid, and I want him to get paid here. So just continue that, batting the balls down, getting to the quarterback, knocking him down. Because the thing with this is Jared Goff, if he gets rattled, he's not going to play at an elite level. You know what I'm saying? He's not and if we continue to hit him like we were hitting Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, man, it's bound to some turnovers, something is bound to happen, you know what I'm saying? So that interior is going to be very important for us this week. The exterior, it's going to be important to steal the edge off, you know what I'm saying? Contain, running backs. And just in general, the whole line has to really be able to contain and swallow up those blocks, to stop the running back from getting light. If DeAndre Swift has another game like he did last week, we're gonna be in some trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna really contribute to their whole game plan. So we need to disrupt that. So that's pretty much it. I need Tez to go off. I want Tez to get a sack. I would love to see that. Get Tez to get a couple sacks. Love for James Smith-Williams or somebody, Casey Two Hill, somebody gets some sacks. I like to see what the new boy gonna do. Um, Jeter, I forget his first name. But yeah, Jeter, I want him to go off. I love to see Wisely get a sack. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he deserves it after last week. Like, I'm telling you, if y'all watch that game again, he was in Trevor Lawrence's face. He was popping him every time. So I want him to do some more of that with Jared Goff. And that's pretty much it with the boys, like, up front. The secondary, man, I'm really hoping, like I was saying, I was trying to get to before, I'm really hoping that Cam Curl can come back. They're just saying they're just trying to make sure everything's healthy in his hands so he doesn't have any more delays. I really hope he can come back, man, because that combination, I feel like, it can be like, Derek Forrest can be like a baby Landon Collins. Probably not but on that level of explosiveness. Well, I can't say he's not going to be explosive or playmaking, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, it's just like like a little baby Landon Collins, like, you know what I'm saying? So I would love to see all three of them on the field all at once. You know what I'm saying? My main concern is the outside, the corners, because this is an easy game for them to get burnt. DJ Chark, Equanimous St. Brown, the other receivers. I want to say it was Winans or Reynolds. It's a lot of like speedy guys, like quick guys that we have problems with. You know what I'm saying? So we need to keep everything in front of us. And even if we pass somebody off, we make sure that we have the communication and have the safeties come over top. But like I said last week, I didn't when stuff was burnt, like when it was getting burnt, like it was just kind of on the cornerbacks. It wasn't like I was seeing like Bobby McCain over there also getting burnt. Like he wasn't, like it was his responsibility to come over the top. So we keep everything in front of us, or just run with the receivers. We should be in pretty good shape. Like, what I'm saying, I want to see Benjamin St. Juste do well. I just want to see a pick, man. I would love to see a pick, especially with Jared Goff, because he's bound to throw one. He's bound to fumble or something, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to see that. I just want to, and I want to see how Cam Curl guards Hawkinson. Yeah, I want to see, like, how they guard Equanimous St. Brown too, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he's gonna be moving around a lot in the offense, like, you know what I'm saying, outside and inside. So it's gonna be interesting. But that's pretty much that, with the defense, from what I can think of off the top of my head. I did have some other stuff I was gonna look at. I thought it was interesting. Did y'all realize that we play the number 1 overall and the 2nd overall picks, back to back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird. Like, somebody probably has already said that, or y'all already noticed that, and I might just be the slow one. But like, yeah, like, we literally play the number 1 overall pick in Trayvon Walker and the 2nd overall pick in Aiden Hutchinson, like, back to back. I don't know, like, if they did that on purpose, like they scheduled like that, or it's just a happy coincidence. But it's really cool, like, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be interesting. Gonna be a challenge for Sam Cosmi and maybe even Charles Leno if they switch, their sides. So yeah, man. And I was seeing a tweet, like, by Ben Standing. It's a lot of familiar faces over there. I didn't know Antoine Randall was coaching. Like, I didn't know that he's coaching the receivers over there, and so is Mark Brunell. He's coaching the quarterbacks, and Sean Dion Hamilton, which I was kind of like rooting for. He got cut, and he's a. I want to say that wrong. He is a person. Let me stop. I'm sorry, y'all. Well, he's a defensive quality coach, from what I believe, like, you know what I'm saying. I will correct that in the week 2 reflections. I'm sorry, I'm not about to waste time with it. But yeah, man. Starting off with that, like, with the second overall pick, I like Aiden Hutchinson, and I love that pick for Detroit. I love that he was able to stay in his kind of hometown, in his area, like, where he's from. I just love that pick, man. Like, I'm just so happy for him, like, what I'm saying, like, in general, it sounds weird, like, I sound like a Lions fan, right? But I don't know. I really like, sometimes, like, certain players going to certain places. I really like, have like hope they go there because I just see them working out there. So, from what I seen, like, Aiden Hutchinson, he's that real deal. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a challenge for our offensive line. Similarly, to the Lions' offensive line. Their defensive line is also kind of weak right now. You know what I'm saying? They have a few guys out that they're missing and stuff. And their strength is their outside, like, starring Aiden Hutchinson. So we need to be careful on our edges, you know what I'm saying? Mainly Sam Cosmi. And if they switch it, like, like I said, Charles Leno. But I feel like it's a great opportunity for to run the ball. I hope for us to run the ball more. Even especially with Gibby, like, just trust him. No, he knows that he needs to, like, just protect the ball. And I was seeing him, like, go down when he was falling. He was going down with the ball. So just let's run the ball. Let's run it up between the tackles. Let's secure that edge. Let's get outside and let's just ball, man. I feel like it's another opportunity for Curtis Samuel to go off, of course. Like, I want to see how creative they get with that. But from what I was saying, I was watching AJ Brown cook one of the corners. Like, it was just like they play press, so he's like right on him, and he just AJ Brown just beats him right off the snap and just smooth, just like, the dude could just lunge forward, couldn't even like get my man, and like, it was easy, just gets an easy reception, and I think he scored. I feel like it's gonna be a great opportunity for Jahan and Terry to go off, because it's like, contrary to belief, like, what I'm saying, I feel like, Jahan is going to be pretty good with press, like, in the league. The Lions have bigger corners than I would say Jacksonville. Let me see their corner. But I feel like they can get off. And Terry's a pro, like, what I'm saying. Terry's that guy, and I want to see him get more involved, get him a couple, like, big receptions, because it's like they, sometimes when you do beat them off the press, like, if it's like a cover 2, it's a big, once you get that release, it's a big gap between till you get to the safety and stuff like that. So I want to see some of that, you know what I'm saying. I want to see some outside streaks, you know what I'm saying, and some, like, some big plays, like, in that regard, I think Cole Turner's coming back. I think he practiced. I think he's coming back. So I love to see that, you know what I'm saying, Cole Turner, and because then now we're gonna have 2 people, like, love John Bates. John Bates is a good tight end. Don't sleep on him, like, and I don't want him to fall into the mix, like, just kind of like not go away because of all the tight ends that we have. But I want to see him. I want to see how Cole Turner does in this game, man. Like, how he fares. Like, is he gonna be a little rusty, kind of out of shape, or tired, like, because he hasn't really been playing like that. Oh man, yeah. Going back to defense, we are so. I would say this though, like, before anything, we are so fortunate that Jamison Williams is not playing. Like, he's still, like, trying to. I think he's on injured reserve. Like, we are so fortunate that he's not playing, because this will be an ugly game, for us. It'll be a long game, because Kendall Fuller not checking him all game. And William Jackson's going, like, he's fast. William Jackson is fast, but, he going to, like, Jameson Williams gonna get a couple on him, like, you know, so that's a blessing in itself. Um, you know, so yeah, I just like, you know, we're just looking at that because I'm looking at their roster because I was trying to find the cornerbacks. They have bigger cornerbacks, like the boy Fitu Melifonwu. Shout out to Rico for you know, shouting him. I mean, from Street Scores, from like, you know, scouting him. I was hearing about him, and I really wanted us to get him too. You know, we have Jeff. They have Jeff Okuda, like, you know, and I thought he was struggling. Like, you know, I was hearing that he was struggling, like, you know, last year, but apparently he's been doing fairly good. You know, now he's a bigger corner too. They have bigger corners on their team, you know, that can really do some things. Amani Orurara, sorry. He's pretty straight, like, you know what I'm saying, and it's gonna be an interesting thing. But I feel like we're gonna kind of continue with that same momentum of creativity and different things like that, where we're really trying to, like, you know, mix up what we're doing and get the best matchups going. You know what I'm saying? Especially with press. If they're playing press man, it's gonna be a problem. Like, you know, it's gonna be a lot of open people running somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, running open somewhere. If it's not a receiver, it's a tight end. If it's not a tight end, it's a running back. It's gonna be a time. Like, I want to see Gibby go off, like, you know, running and receiving. And I feel like it's a great opportunity for him. I feel like our tight ends are going to be pretty good too, because I don't really know about these linebackers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Their linebackers don't scare me, in a sense. Not really. I just saw that they had James Houston. I didn't know they had James Houston. Like, you know, I just checked the roster the other day and saw that they had him. Then they got these two guys from Charlotte, North Carolina. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to North Carolina. Shout out to Charlotte. Two brothers, like, you know what I'm saying, Okwara, you know, Julian Okwara and Romeo Okwara, they're brothers, so it's really nice to be on the same team, being linebackers and twinning it up, like, you know what I'm saying. Random fact, I was just looking at their roster, just trying to get an idea of that, you know what I'm saying, so. But, yeah, their linebackers don't scare me. I may be wrong, I didn't really scout it deeply, like, you know what I'm saying, but I feel like our we have so many weapons, and I feel like we have the quarterback to get that handled and get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, now Carson, you know what I'm saying? This is a different game, different team, but you know what I'm saying? We you know, this is the time you got your first game jitters out the way. You overcame something great. Let's continue on this. Let's build on this. Let's not sleep. Let's not, like, you know, and he already knows this because he's played great football in the past. You know, all the teams that he's been on, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he's played playoff football. He's been in the big moments. It's not a quarterback that we haven't had, you know, playoff experience with, like, you know what I'm saying, or you know, hasn't had big moments. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Heineke, he had big moments, but these were like some of these that were fresh experiences for him. So we were experiencing as he's experienced. We have a quarterback that has experience in these type of moments, so it's not too big or too small for him. So he's gonna be the leader in the pace, set the pace for us, like, you know, as we go in. So that's just a interesting thing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want him to really kind of go off, and just carve these people up, man. Because I feel like their cornerback's not checking us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they doing press, they're not checking us, bro. You know, and I'm not trying to disrespect them. They're still a tough team. They're gonna fight to the end, bro. It's gonna be a tough battle. Like, it's gonna be, you know, it may be a turnover or so. We may not turn it over, but you know, it's gonna be tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's in a lot of blitzes, so it may be like maybe like a fumble or something, like a sack fumble, you know, that we may see. Who knows? But it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm excited to see it, and like I said, I don't see a reason why we should lose this game. They got us as underdogs, and I'm like, you know, we've been underdogs forever. You know, it's kind of like, You know, we just been slept on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like an underdog personally. Not trying to make this about myself, but I feel like underdog a lot of times we get underestimated. So I'm starting to love that identity about our team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it is what it is, man. And so, like, you know, we still got a mission. We still know what we got to come here and do. You know what I'm saying? We got to come in and handle business. My coach, man, like, you know, Coach Ron, you know what I'm saying? I know he's instilling this in him. Like, okay, we won this, like, you know what I'm saying, but don't rest on your laurels. Let's move forward and, like, you know, get this done. You know what I'm saying? Handle the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to keep that toughness, you know, going, and that perseverance, and move us forward. You know, so it's gonna be a really good game. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna enjoy watching it. I'm gonna be stressed. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be happy. You know, all that. But it's gonna be a battle of two tough teams, two tough head coaches going at it. But at the end of the day, I feel like we come out with the dub. You know, I don't have a score for this yet. I'm feeling 32-22. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird score. I don't even know how we get to 32. You know, maybe 31-22. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, we pull it off at the end, and you know, it was close, but we pull it off at the end, man. Like, you know, and just make it interesting like we always do. We haven't got to the point where we just like blow people out, you know, but we had to just make it interesting, you know what I'm saying, and help with the in-game betting and stuff like that. Let me stop. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to think if I had anything else. But I had some interesting things like that first and second overall thing, you know. A lot of the former coaching staff is on their team. Mark Brunell. I love when Mark Brunell was here, man. I was just like, this is our franchise quarterback. Because Jason Campbell went down, I believe, and then Mark Brunell came in. I was just like, oh, like, you know, we're like, you know, he took us to the playoffs and stuff. But as usual, it wasn't our quarterback. But right now, we got our quarterback, man. I'm not stressing about that. Today is today. That was the past. And this is the Big Dog Command Room. It's your boy Mambo. Thank you for watching this pregame thoughts for week 2 against the Detroit Lions. You know, what's up, Big Sean? What's up, Motown Records? You know, RP, Aretha Franklin, all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll see you up there, and we coming back with the dub. You know, cause we the dubs. Peace.